Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. It's over. Who gives a shit? It's a new year. Get yourself together. If you have made, um, New Year's resolutions, they will not happen. They will not happen. Because you have to make a New Year's resolution. You can't do more than one. Because that's how humans work. You have to do one, and once you get good at that, you can look at another one. I do not follow that advice. I try to do 12 things at once. And actually, what happens is 12 things are done poorly. But it's too late to change now. Christmas is gone, everyone. It's over. The children love it. Santa came, all of the good stuff. The most explosive Christmas morning I can remember. The year was 1990, probably 9, maybe 2000. I was the ripe old age of middle teens. Okay? Christmas Eve night. I get invited to go and hang with some cool kids. Bit older than me. Didn't want to show up empty-handed. Brought an entire bottle of rum. Delicious Trinidadian rum. Probably Fernandez Black Label. Which in my day you could get for $23.50 Trinidadian dollars. Which is like about €3 for entire bottle of rum. 75 centiliters. 3/4 of a liter. 750 ml. Anyway, I grabbed the rum. I'm going down the road. Drink the whole thing. And then the next morning we had to go to church because it's Christmas and we have to praise Jesus. So, I probably got home about 4 o'clock in the morning, right? On the Lord's birthday. 4 hours into Jesus's birthday. 4 hours into the day that he was born and laying down on the hay there in Bethlehem, which I don't think exists anymore because the Israels, they're just blowing it up. But anyway, so I get home 4 a.m., pass out, got woke up in the morning by my God-fearing father. Hey, we gotta go to church, Now, we always used to go to church, Christmas morning, come back, eat your food, presents, right? Now, I'm the youngest, so at this point, there wasn't really much presents to open, so we just kind of got up, went to church, breakfast, whatever, 1 or 2 presents. Nothing's changed. Irrelevant. So, I gotta wake up feeling like a bag of smashed b-holes. Get in the car, I probably, slept through 2 hours or something. Church was like 8 a.m. or something mad like that. So, we get there, it's packed. Church. Chinese are real church-loving folks, some of them. So we park up the car, we go inside. I can barely even stand up. Now, my brothers, same thing. You go out the night before, you have about 6 parties to hit starting at midday on Christmas Eve, and you just jump in party to party. Drinking and driving, you might say, because that's what we did. But don't judge me, that's the culture. So, I feel sick. I said, ask my father for the keys for the car, so I'm not feeling well. He knows what's going on. So he looked at me, good. I mean, this is the most important church day of the year. You know what I mean? This is the Madison Square Garden of the Lord's Masses. You know what I mean? The priest has been, doing his new hour all year, trying to get ready for that one day, Christmas Day, the Lord's birthday. You know what I mean? That's when they bring out, you know what I mean? The white dress that they wear is extra crispy. It's a fresh dress, probably. The staff, you know what I mean? They polish up the staff. some little fella does probably, or little lady. And then, he's delivering his mass. Then he just sees this unruly Caucasian stammering out the doors of the church. Now, the church had doors all around the side, around the back. It basically had no walls. It was all made of doors. These wooden panel doors. So, as soon as I asked him for the keys. Let me get the keys on the feeling well. Cut eye. As soon as I break the threshold of that church door, one of the thousands of doors I had, I honked like you would not believe. I mean, it flew. Any further would have went to the moon. I mean, it just, all this projectile. Now, remember, I drank an entire bottle of rum. And even with a big dinner, it don't matter. All right outside the church doors, right? So I realized, why'd I get the hell out of here? As I get closer to the car, same thing, vomiting in the car park. This is church on Christmas morning, huh? This is probably the last time me and all my siblings and my parents went to church together on Christmas Day, before people getting married and having children, whatever. So I turn on the car, I pass out. Bang, 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 bang. The door is banging. I open my eyes. It's my father. He's actually not pissed off at all. Everybody's laughing about it. I'm the butt of the joke, which is fair enough. And when you're pulling out to the church, you're hello, how you going? Merry Christmas. Oh gosh, yes. What's your plans? And take care for the holidays. All you're going to Tobago, whatever. So all that going on. And I took the window. I was like, y'all have to give me the window just in case. And as we pull out the churchyard, I mean, there's dozens of people all over shaking hands. Merry Christmas, hugging, kissing. And just in the middle of that, boy, something take hold of my belly. Something take hold of my guts. And I just crack open the door. Vomited. You know that kind of vomit where you scream while you're vomiting. Another several liters of my past coming to revisit. And everybody chit-chat looking around. What's that sound? So, I mean, my family were good sports. As soon as I came back in the car, they all busted out laughing and rolled down the window and all that kind of stuff. But just to set the vibe. So that was Christmas. That was the most explosive Christmas one could have. Anyway. So we're on to a new year. And new emotions, new feeling. Everybody's trying to get a handle on themselves. And, over the holidays, sometimes you just need a break from each other. You know what I mean? And from the hustle and bustle to bond. If you're in a relationship or you have kids, you take a time to reflect. If you're single, you get time to know yourself. You might just be beating off all day, and that's fine too. And that's, if you have to do that, that's what has to happen. So the other day I was trying to reconnect with somebody. Not my wife, current wife, first wife. And we're at dinner, and there's a British couple who kind of sat kind of close to us. I could already tell that they hate each other, right? But she looks like the aggressor, and I was right. Because the more they spoke, I could realize she was a terrible person. I mean, she wasn't a terrible person, but she wasn't the nicest. He was this kind of guy, and she was like, that kind of lady. She was like, well, what do you want? He's like, I don't eat fish. So she orders for him. The first course comes, I'm enamored, obviously. And he gets the fish dish that she ordered for him. Keep in mind, he said he does not like fish. He said, oh God, it looks raw. Look at that. whatever her name was, Janine. And I goes, oh my God, this fish looks raw. And she goes, it's a ceviche, you fucking twat. What? First of all, somebody doesn't eat fish, you don't get them ceviche. You just don't, right? Secondly, he also doesn't know what it is. You know those people who are whispering but screaming at the same time? That's what she was doing. She was whispering. It's a ceviche, you fucking twat. Now everybody kind of heard. And if people didn't hear the exact words, they could hear the tone. And they knew something was, you know what I mean? Something wasn't quite right. Now, you would never think, you never think he's being kidnapped or whatever, because I guess he's the guy. But I just thought, like, if at that moment, everybody could sense what a asshole she was. If at that moment, he just stood up and said, just dressed her down. Just stood up and just pointed in her face. And just said, shut up! Nobody would bat an eyelid because we would all think this is billing for a time. You know what I mean? Janine is out of control. And so it is what it is. Janine had to get a cuss. I mean, even if he smacked her around a little bit, people would be like, oh, okay, all right. That definitely have limits. If he just grabbed her by the neck and just started strangling her in the middle of the dinner table, we would have all thought, well, she probably deserved it. Now we would have broke it up because you can't do that. You shouldn't ever beat women and strangle women, and women shouldn't do the same thing to men. But sometimes it happens. But nobody would have blamed him. But it happens. It happened to me a few times. I was dating a crazy lady in my teens. And I remember dropping off one night in my car. You know what I mean? My fucking Ford Escort, 1996. Ford Escort with rims. My father gave me money to buy shocks and change the suspension because it was all broken to hell. And I bought rims and tires. 17s. Which made this tiny little car look like a wagon. It was the dumbest thing ever. But it looked sick. 1996 Ford Escort. My partners used to call it the best court. Anyway, I'm pulling up and dropping this girl off. She's leaning into the window. She's getting heated about something or other. And I said something that she didn't want to hear. And I just said, you're going to have to get over it. I don't even remember what I said. But I was like, you're just going to have to, you got to get over that. In my bad John young boy voice. Well, she didn't agree. She sparked me in my face as hard as, my bell was ringing. She just leaned back like this. Full-fledged. Katishi! Rakatush! Basta na. Boy, remind me of my mother giving us licks when we was younger. My ears was ringing and everything. So, I said, I ain't taking that. First of all, it would have been very hard because I was in the car, she was outside, to get the full thing and miss the curve of the door and still hit me. And of course, I didn't budge, I didn't tense or move or anything. There's no way I'm thinking at any moment you are ready for physical altercation. So she sparks me to within an inch of my life. I say, I ain't taking that. And the next part is going to be hard for some of y'all to hear. But you have to hear it. I reached back here with all of my might. Backhand, knuckles out. Meaning business. And I just buried my face in my hands and I just started to cry. Just tears flowing down my face. the shame, the anger, the embarrassment. I've never wanted to hit a woman so hard in my life, but I just did not. I could not. You just couldn't imagine it. So I just level up spark, and I just level up the spark, and I just bury my hands, my face in my hands, and I just started weeping. And she was like trying to hug me and thing, you know what I mean? Real kind of crazy. What do you call that, boy? That's like pimp behavior. You know what I mean? You slap around the prostitutes, and then when they get upset, you give them pills. Iceberg Slim, the notorious pimp, said that. You beat them up, and then you give them pills, and then whatever. It's a whole relationship. So I trying to reverse the car, however, and I don't think she knows this part, but I turn the wheel and gas out in reverse to try and, remember I said the big rims, the big 17-inch rims, they used to stick out real far from the wheel well. I was trying to run over her foot. She didn't understand that. She got the way real quick. She was like some kind of she was like some kind of fucking, like a serpent. She slithered out of the situation, no problem at all. Anyway, boy, I said that's it for me and her. So we broke up the next way. We was broken up for about 6 hours. We got back together. I mean, that was a routine situation with me and this one woman, girl at the time. She was crazy. I guess I was crazy and mad too. And I could see the craziness building in her, and I think it would instigate and I would stir the pot a little bit. You know what I mean? I was a pot stirrer. I remember one time in high school, probably around the same age, 15, 16. And these two first-year students, Form 1 students, which would be like 11, 12, they fighting. And, well, we happen to be walking by the classroom. This isn't, during lunch or whatever. Pff, licks flying. They break up. And for kicks, I look at one of the fellas and I said, "You taking that? That man I'll talk about your mother there. That man I'll say you gonna guts out your mother." Well, who tell me say that? Because he turned around and stabbed the other young boy in his head with a pen. Unexpected turn of events. I jumped in. I was the hero. I broke up the fight. You know what I mean? Nobody gave me any credit. What I did get was a 7-day suspension because those youths ratted me out. They were trying to say we were calming down, and then some older classman chained him up to fight again. So I was stirring the pot, and yeah, boy, that fella lucky good. He could have taken that boy out. But they became friends, actually. They became friends. And that is what I tell myself so I could sleep at night. And I got no credit for breaking up the fight. No credit. But that's the way it goes. But stirring up. So with that same girl, I would see her again to the edge. And I would fucking stir her shit up. I could see the shit she came from on her background, on her crazy fucking mother. And her father, he was a nut job too, but I just would fucking stir it up. I couldn't help it, boy. Maybe because I was the last child, I was stirring shit up. I mean, she used to threaten to kill herself constantly. Constantly. And what I should have been doing was seeing that cry for help, helping out. I mean, I remember one time she had a razor that you shave your legs with. And she held it up to her wrist. And she said, "I'll kill myself." And at that point in time, I could have easily just said, "Baby girl, listen, I'm sorry for what I said. Put the safety razor down, okay? Put the completely harmless razor down. Let's lie down. Let's make some love or whatever. Let's get something to eat. Your blood sugar's low. As all these things came together. Her blood sugar was low. She was missing home. She was a mixed woman, so I don't know if she suffered from a lack of identity. I should have said something nice, but what I said was, "What are you gonna do? Make your veins silky smooth?" which is not what you tell somebody who is, you know what I mean? So she wasn't the brightest, but she was hot. That's how it goes. She was hot. And so she held her breath and you know, rubbed the safety leg raiser against her arm, which of course did nothing but make her forearm nice and smooth. You know what I mean? And again, I had the opportunity to be like, all right, let's dial it down here. But I looked at her and I said, I bet you're feeling stupid now. I think I am the abuser. I am actually the abuser. She might have been the physical one, but I was the abuser. Anyway, boy, they have plenty of stories to come out of she still, but that's the story. Yeah, boy. She sparked me, I started to cry. Probably one of the weirdest situations to cry in. Although, I did cry in a butcher store one time. A good deed that I did, very rare, but I did it. I gave one of the young boys who was working a book on back pain. He read it. It cured his back pain. I mean, he did all these other things too, but he was giving all the credit to the book, and so I got some of the credit. And I came in one day, and he was like, I hadn't seen him in months. He showed up, he was slim. He was looking correct. And he just handed the book over to me. And he had tears in his eyes. And he said, thank you so much, you have no idea. And he didn't even finish the words, and I standing up there, tears coming out of my eyes. The rest of the butchers, this is a real hard, like old school hard. It's called Dublin Institute. You know what I mean? They're looking like, what's going on with this fellow? Anyway, so I cried in the middle of the butchers, and then the worst part was I had to still make my order through the tears. I said, Michael, let me get 2 boxes of chicken legs. Some of the ground brisket for the party, fella. That's what it is. Who gives a shit, bro? You cry as a man. I fucking crying. That's part of it. Anyway, so the moral of the story is, try not to antagonize when you're dealing with a psychotic person. Don't make any New Year's resolutions. Make a New Year's resolution. And love yourself. And remember that sometimes today is a today day, right? And I know that sounds like I just had a stroke, but what it means is sometimes it's studying what's going on, tomorrow, next week, you have all this shit piling up, whatever. But if sometimes you decide in the morning, you say, today is just today. Today is just today. One day at a time. I just made up that phrase. But sometimes you just have to say, today is a today day. And just saying that thing out loud, sounds so silly. It works. I love you all. Take it easy. So I'm going to try to do one of these every week. And we'll see how it goes. First Monday of the year. Who would have thought? Goodbye. Can you take me higher?